Welcome back, everyone. On today's episode, we will be learning how to make these felt skulls. I was very excited to make these, and I feel like they turned awesome. So if you want to learn how to make these, keep watching. So first thing, you're going to look in your packet of art supplies, and you should have gotten some felt that is already cut out. The shape of the skull kind of looks like a keyhole, and you're just going to set those aside. You're going to choose what your eyes and your nose are going to look like. So I went with green for my eyes, and the shape that I went for was flowers. So I want the eyes to be in the shape of flowers. So I'm going to draw out my flowers first so that I can have a nice shape before I start cutting them. And I actually decided to make 2 pairs of eyes, so 4 eyes total, because the first pair seemed a little small, so then I made a little bit larger, and I cut them all out because I wanted to kind of put them on the skull to see which ones looked best. Next, you're going to be making the nose, which is going to be in the shape of a heart. So that is how I make my nose. Your nose doesn't have to be in the shape of a heart, but I just think it looks cute. So here goes my nose, and then I'm gonna cut them all out. So then once you have it all cut out, you're gonna have all these scraps, and actually I'm gonna save those scraps for later. So then here I am kind of placing them on my felt to see which ones look best. And we decided to go with the larger flowers for the eyes. And then I started using sequins to cover and decorate it, but then I realized it's missing something. So we started cutting out these little yellow circles, and here I'm telling you that you need to not use the side that you traced, turn them around. Yeah, not like that, like that. Yes, we love it when you can't see where you traced. Same goes with the nose. Turn it around so we don't see the parts that you traced. And then I was like, maybe I'm gonna do this, but then I was like, nah. So next we start to decorate again. So you kind of get a feel of where you want to put your sequins, how you want to decorate it before you start sewing and gluing things down. You want to have kind of an idea so you don't make a mess and kind of get confused. So then I was like, yeah, that's Gucci. So I get rid of everything on my skull, and you make a single knot by the needle after you threaded it in the needle, and then you make a double knot at the end of your thread. And this is just going to be so you can start to sew the eyes in place. So I already did one side. I'm going to show you how I do the next side, so make sure you put it in the right spot. You make it go right through the eye. You sew it right back through the eye. Make sure you're going through all the felt. You sew it back through the eye again. And this time, if you look behind there should be a little bit of string. You're going to put your needle through that string to make a knot. So pull it all the way in, and that little hole that's going to be in there for you, you're going to thread through it, and you're going to be your knot. So then all you got to do is cut that knot off, the little knob, and you're done. And if you don't know how to do this, you can always ask your parents. I'm sure they know how to do a very simple stitch. Now you're going to do the same thing with your nose. So there I am making the double knot at the end of my string again. Gonna center the nose in the face, put the needle right through. Be very careful, y'all. I don't want to see none of y'all with poked fingers. We don't like that. not a fan, but be very, very careful. You're gonna make it go right through the nose again. You're gonna turn it around. That little string that you have, you're gonna make a knot with it, like so. You can always pause, come back to this part if it looks a little confusing. Maybe an adult can help you to make it easier. And then you're done with the front. Not really though. Actually, we're gonna do the mouth now. Now the mouth is it's gonna be a little bit different, okay? It's a different kind of stitch. You're gonna be doing some real sewing. I actually decided to draw a line where I wanted the mouth to be. It was kind of sideways, but I was like, you know what? Maybe it'll be a little cute. It'll be a little quirky. So then I start doing a very simple stitch down the mouth. Just watch what I do, and that should help you with your own. If you've never sewn before, this is a good practice. This is really good practice for you to learn how to sew. Very simple, just going back and forth until you get to the end of your mouth, right? And then you're gonna go back. You're kind of going to now make up and down stitching, because those are going to be pretty much your skeleton teeth. And it's going to look like this, real nice, real cute. Now, once you're done with your mouth, you're going to turn it around and you're going to make your knot again, right? We find a stitch, we pull it through, we go through the little hole and we make that knot. We cut off our string. And then this is where it starts to get good. Okay, so you put both parts of your skull together. And then you're going to start to sew it. So I'm just going to go through one of the pieces of felt first. So just because I don't want that little nub to be sticking out. And then I make another stitch, and then I'm gonna pull my string through that little hole. Do you see that right there? And I'm gonna pull it through. And that is what you're gonna do for the skull head. But you're not going to go through, you're not gonna completely surround the skull like that. You need to leave a little opening available for the stuffing. So go ahead and start sewing just like I'm showing you right now, but don't get ahead of yourself. Don't go too far, okay? You are gonna need to leave a little space so that you can put in your stuffing. So if you keep watching, you'll see what I mean. Here, I'm actually showing you that I started running out of string, so I decided to make a little knot here and end it right there before I start to get more string, because once your string gets too short, it gets really hard for you to sew. So I didn't want to get to that point. So that's how much I had left, but I needed more. I definitely needed more, or else it was gonna start getting really hard for me. So I just decided to put more string on my needle. And then you do it again. You start off just where you left off. And this doesn't have to be perfect, y'all, especially if this is your first time. We're learning, okay? It's good. It's good that we're learning, okay? So then I was like, okay, that's enough for now. We're gonna leave it pretty much there for now. That might be like my last stitch, I think. Girl, is that your last stitch or not? That was not my last stitch, my bad. Okay, now that was my last stitch. All right, so here I am stuffing it with those scraps. Remember those scraps from earlier, and an old sock. So you know those socks that kind of like hang out in your house that don't really have another pair? You haven't seen the pair in years? Well, that's what I stuffed it with. It's clean, all right? It's clean, people. That's because I didn't really get any stuffing. You should get some stuffing, but I didn't get any. But I'm gonna stuff it also with some like cotton balls that I found as well. So, and now that you have it stuffed and you want to make sure they're kind of all in the place that you want them to be, make sure nothing looks lumpy, funky, or bumpy. Lumpy, funky, bumpy. Yeah, make sure it doesn't look like any of those things. Then you're gonna keep sewing the rest of it. You have to, now you can sew it shut completely. Make sure you get it all the way around and make sure that there's no little holes left. So you keep sewing, sew away. Now I give you permission to completely close it up. And then when you do close it up, you're gonna make your little loophole and cut it out. And then if you see any like extra little strings that are kind of sticking out in funky ways, you can go ahead and cut those off. Next, we can now apply glue, and this is regular, just any regular glue you have at home. This is white glue, nothing fancy here. Elmer's glue works just fine. You're gonna stick your sequins where you had decided earlier. Once your finger is a little tacky, it makes it really easy for you to pick up your sequins with your finger and stick them onto your sugar skull, well, felt sugar skull. So that is what I am doing there. And once you are done with that, you just leave it to dry overnight. And there you have it. Once you're done, you can keep your little sugar skull and put it on your altar. If you celebrate Dia de los Muertos, this is for you. If you don't, this is something that you can have as a memory of the day. So thank you so much and see you next time. Bye.